Hello, everyone. After my last video about the different roles in data analytics and data science, I had a lot of questions around how to break into data analytics and data science as a fresh graduate or someone without prior experience in the industry. So I thought I'd do this video on it. I know there's already a lot of resources out there around which courses you should be doing and what software tools that data analysts and data scientists use. So I thought I'd do this video just from the perspective of a hiring manager, having been in that role before, looking to hire a graduate or someone that didn't have prior experience. So I'm sure you've seen this Venn diagram before, but data analytics is the intersection, which I've drawn a little star, of statistics and maths, computer science and technology, and business. And this is no joke. You really do need all three of these. Why? So statistics and maths, and that you do need to be really interested in the data that's behind it, and all aspects of the data, and really understanding the data, because you are the only SME, subject matter expert in the data, as the data analyst, which I'll use data analyst and data scientist interchangeably in this video. But you also need the computer science and technology knowledge in order to extract that data and know that the data exists and where you should be looking for that data. And then also the ability to wrangle that data and handle that data in a way that is analyzable. You also need business knowledge in that the purpose that you are doing this analysis, especially in an enterprise environment, is invariably to improve profits for the organization, whether that's increased revenues or reduced costs. And you need that understanding of how a business works, how business makes money, and what sort of analysis would create an impact into making that better versus not be impactful. Really interesting, but not be impactful. So what we are looking for as hiring managers when we're sitting on the other side of the interview is that if you are in an interview, you will already be good at one of these three quadrants, undoubtedly. What the hiring manager is thinking is, are you willing and able, but mostly willing because you've been through uni, you've got decent grades, you're smart, so you're able, but mostly willing to move out of whatever quadrant you're in, say computer science, and further into these other fields, which may not be comfortable and may not be an easy journey to take. And why is that? I thought I'd give you some examples of, say, if you were a data analyst and you didn't move out of those quadrants, why you would be less effective in the role as a result. So I might just start at the top left. So say you were a math stats person and you sort of just stayed in math stats and didn't really want to learn about the other two. Data analysts and data scientists that do that, if they do, are people that, say, would create the coolest, best model that has no application at all to the business. And so that sort of stuff is just completely wasted. So that's lack of business understanding, for example. And then you have these people who are very good at the numbers, but say never really got here into the computer science and technology. That would mean that they might not be working on the correct data set because they never really understood all of the logging that happens in an organization, where all the data lies, or they knew it existed out there somewhere, but didn't have the skills to extract it and analyze it and incorporate it into their model. So that's if you're a strong math stats but only at a 2, why you'd be less effective. So moving on to computer science and technology. So if you just stayed in that computer science quadrant and never moved here, similar to statistics, you may not ever really understand the impact of your work on the bottom line of a business. That would just mean that your manager has to work really, really hard in order to make sure that everything you do does actually sort of apply, which is fine in the short term, but doesn't really work in the long term as you progress in your career and you become more self-directed. You also have computer science and technology people that never really was that interested in the maths and the statistics and the actual numbers. And what that ends up happening is that you might have a perfectly elegant technological solution, but say the analysis doesn't make sense, or the analysis was just an extraction from a SQL table somewhere, and is just one small slice of the story, and doesn't really have the payoff that you would expect from, say, all the technology work that went into the project. So that's people that just stay in computer science and technology and never move to these other quadrants. And then, say, if you were very strong in business, and you didn't really get into tech, well, data analytics and data science is a technical role. There's a reason why they're listed under careers in tech, right? And that it's not really possible to be effective, especially in the junior levels, if you never learned any coding, was not very strong at coding, was not very strong with technology. So those people, there's lots of roles out there that are not code heavy, in data as well. But those people sort of never really get into the meat of the problems, the meat of the projects. So that's why they sort of, never really progress in data analytics and data science. Now, I might just add that I'm not saying right or wrong about any of this stuff. Each of these fields, staying in them is like an entire world in themselves. And I think the people that work with that were somewhat ineffective, or I hired them and they never really grew into this holy grail quadrant, basically just didn't really fully understand what the job entailed, and probably didn't know what they wanted out of a career at that point as well. It's difficult. So if you think this is you, what can you do in order to sort of prove this to prospective employers? It is hard, but apart from the online courses and all of that, which I think are great, it's amazing resources, I really look for self-directed projects. So things like a Tableau public profile, say you could visualize COVID. There's lots of stats out there that you can just download in a Tableau license that you can take. Stuff on Reddit. I think there's a Reddit called Data Visualization, I believe, and a lot of data analysts and data scientists that I work with do follow that. I personally do as well. And there's some awesome visualizations out there. Kaggle, I'm not sure if that's still really big, but was certainly very big a few years ago. But just anything that demonstrates that you can independently take a data set and then visualize it or model it or analyze it and basically tease out the story within those couple of thousand rows or couple of 100,000 rows or even a couple million rows. That would really, really demonstrate that you have certainly the potential, if not already the ability, to be in that quadrant. I hope this helps. Message me with any questions or ideas for further topics. And as always, all my back catalog videos are on YouTube. Just search for Do Data on YouTube and my channel should come up. Thank you very much.